Salutations, ladies and gentlemen and people of the tube. I am ForceOfWill,
TokenDweeb,
and welcome to WWFree Reviews Extreme Rules.
Ugh.
Or shall we call it Extreme Cheap Pops?
Yeah, cheap pops rule.
Because, fuck me, was there a lot of cheap popping going on tonight.
Yeah, from the off.
Like, even pre-show, like Booker T being ridiculous at one point. I know that was towards the end of the pre-show, but fuck me, was this bad.
I'm pretty sure at one point, either Saxon or Booker T just went, Chicago! I just looked around and waited for everyone to go, yay!
So we'll talk about the pre-show first, because as per usual, not a lot interesting happened on the pre-show.
Yeah, they've been doing them since like the In Your House days, and like they've become increasingly like pointless.
Yeah,
they just don't. I don't get the panel thing. Like they just go, who's got the advantage in this match, or who's got? Just get on with it.
The only time I ever really enjoy him is when Ric Flair's there and he's just giving it woo constantly. It's
great.
He's clearly off his face on fucking painkillers and whiskey, and that was just to get out of bed.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, I didn't really see the point much, like with the pre-show. They didn't really. They sort of swept Daniel Bryan. Sort of, oh, by the way, that's not on pay-per-view now. We're not going to do that. We're only going to have one match on the pre-show, and we're going to move the tag titles. Was it? Yeah, they moved the tag titles up
onto the main thing. The only thing of note that happened for the whole of the fucking pre-show was Dean Ambrose, although we couldn't really hear him very well because his mic wasn't turned up loud enough, but he just sort of evicted Byron Saxton, who is about as interesting as listening to fucking paint dry. He physically ejected him from his seat and was like, piss off, I'm sitting here now, I am Dean... What was it? He said,
he called himself something really silly. I don't know, we didn't write it down. But
it was something ridiculous, but it added something interesting, you know, other than, you know, staring at Renee.
Yeah, just having those three announcers who aren't worthy of being on the main show, so they got relegated to the pre-show.
Yeah, you know, the deafening CM Punk chant that was over most of anything anyone was saying at any point.
Then they carry on with
there's that there was, sorry, I've just looked over at my notes because Token's got my notes in his hand. There was the Sheamus package where he was making out that he had like a new gimmick, which is his same old gimmick, which is he's Irish and he likes to kick people in the face, but now he looks like Mr. T's Warcraft character. And I spotted that note, and that needed to be said.
Yeah, ridiculous that they've just carried on basically Fit Finley's gimmick with Sheamus, and they've not changed at all.
No,
it's like they've come back. He's like, oh, he's got a new haircut. It's his new gimmick. No, it's not.
No, it's an equally as ridiculous haircut as his fucking Beaker do.
Yeah,
from back in the day. The only way is I think his hair could get any more ridiculous if he goes away again and then comes back with shoulder length curtains.
Yeah.
Big ginger shirt. No, better than that. It comes back looking like Carrot Top.
Yeah, just straight up. Yeah, big curls.
Yeah. Big like Boo Fondue.
Yeah. Skip into the ring.
There was the Bray Wyatt segment on the pre-show, and I have.
That was one of the better things on the pre-show.
Yeah, it was, but I'm really upset, and I've been saying this for weeks. I really like Bray Wyatt. I like the gimmick. They need to give him somebody behind him so we have the Wyatt family again. It made no sense to break him up in the fucking first place.
Yeah.
But because of the way they've booked and then buried him constantly, even when he was with Rowan and fucking Harper, right? Whenever he goes, oh, I've put a target on X guy's back, I'm like, right, so that's the next guy that's going to beat the shit out of Bray Wyatt then.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know where Bray's next loss is coming from.
Yeah, it's like they've completely destroyed my faith in him as a fan, because everyone he's been booked against has always been somebody he's just never going to beat.
Yeah, and it's like you pointed out, the whole thing, him going up against Undertaker to be the new face of fear, loses to Undertaker, so clearly it's like, well, the old face of fear is still kind of, dominant.
Yeah.
And then he comes out in this promo and still proclaiming himself to be the new face of Fear.
It's not just this promo, he's been doing it since Mania. It's like, so basically what you're saying is you had a match with Taker and it didn't matter whether you won it, lost it, or drew the motherfucker. You is the new face of Fear that loses to every motherfucker he wrestles against.
Yeah, he can't be that scary if he's that easily beaten.
You know, they fucked the booking on him when they had Daniel Bryan join the Wyatts.
Yeah.
That's when it all started to go wrong.
Yeah. Down from there.
You know, on the subject of Daniel Bryan, he's not at this pay-per-view, and that's because he's become very injury prone.
Yeah.
Because he you know, they sort of touted him early on in his fucking underdog run as being this sort of guy that could take any fucking beating and still win a match, and it ended with him wrestling WrestleMania in 2 massively difficult matches, which fucked him up, and it makes me think of Edge.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Especially with all the years behind him on the Indies and Ring of Honor and stuff.
It's gonna be one of these. He's gonna turn up on Raw one night and he's gonna be like, guys, there's nothing I can do. I can't wrestle anymore.
Got to retire.
Retire.
And they screw the pooch on that end because they've got no one to.
Yeah,
back Cena up as like a face.
Yeah, you know, who are they gonna fucking put as top face? Fucking doll pissing Ziggler.
Well.
Because he's the people's champion. Fuck off.
It's going to be Reigns. Well, they're trying to make it Reigns.
It's never going to be Reigns because nobody fucking likes him.
Yeah.
You know, he's an unlikable character for a star.
Yeah.
So, we get to the one and only match on the pre-show, and it's Bad News Barrett, who both me and Token think should be in the main event picture, not on the fucking pre-show.
Yeah.
Against Neville.
Yeah, Neville. He doesn't deserve a first name. What is that, a rights thing? Is it so he can't go anywhere and call himself Neville? So like if he leaves in like 5 years and he goes to TNA, he's just got to be called Adrian. Like, I don't know what.
It's such an awful wrestler's name.
Yeah.
Like we were joking, like his next tag team partner is going to be called Melvin.
Yeah.
And they're going to be managed by a guy called Maurice. And that's it. That's going to be their gimmick, and you know it's such, like, here in England definitely Neville is the guy that sits in the corner that's got no mates, is a little bit weird in that uncomfortable way, right? Like stares a little bit too long at you.
Yeah.
And
smells a bit funny.
Yeah, he has like this pickled egg scent, right? And that's not me saying every Neville is like that. That's just the the stereotypical Neville that we think of here in the UK. And to have a guy that is so good, so athletic at least. I'm personally not sold on his corkscrew moonsault thing.
Yeah,
whatever
I mean, because I watch TNA, so TNA.
You just admitted that you watched TNA, you dirty bastard. Oh, mate, why'd you do it? Why'd you do it?
It's just you have to get both scales of the both ends of the spectrum.
Well, no, if you want both ends of the spectrum, watch NXT and Raw.
True, but NXT. I liked him from NXT. TNA is probably where he's going to end up though, because on the main roster. They say he's a cruiserweight.
He's going to get lost.
He's not going to get anywhere.
They've got no cruiserweight title. They need to bring that back because they've got some amazing talent that aren't quite world heavyweight or WWE title. Which again, they should separate those motherfucking belts.
Yeah.
They've got people who are really, really good, but they're not main event good.
Yeah. I mean, you make the argument of being small, I guess. Like Punk did it, but Punk had like amazing mic skills.
Yeah.
Whereas like no one I think they bring up from TNA, including Neville. That's why I don't understand why Barrett's not up there.
Yeah.
Because Barrett's got all of it. He's got the look. I mean, when he first started out, he was main eventing with Cena, and he seems to have fallen all the way down.
Just slipped down from that.
Yeah.
It's like they handed him the keys, and then we get the lol Cena wins moment.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was his run, and it was like, no, Barrett. He's great, and that's not just because I'm biased because he's British, but
But it was a pretty standard match. It was a bit botchy.
What really pissed me off is midway through the match they cut to an advert for the network for shit that's going to happen on the network. Now I expect that shit on Monday Night Raw. That's when adverts happen. But I pay $9.99 for no fucking adverts on my network.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It does kind of make a mockery out of paying for the product if you're just going to cut away all the time. But yeah, the kicking out of straight away first match on the card, not even on the main card. You have
kicking out a finisher.
Kicking out a finisher. Like Wasteland should be a finisher.
Yep.
It should be considered like, he's put him to bed. This NXT rookie put him to bed.
Wasteland was his finisher to start with when he was in the Nexus.
Yeah, and he was
Wasteland. That was the end of you.
Yeah, he was battering Cena with that.
Right.
So straight away, kicking out of that just doesn't make sense.
There's one thing that tends to really piss me off about wrestling moves and WWE is they don't remember where the moves came from. There's no consistency. Like now, everybody kicks out of super kicks.
Yeah.
That's the finisher of the greatest wrestler there's ever been.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not the biggest Shawn Michaels fan, but I acknowledge he is most certainly the greatest worker there's ever been in the business.
Yeah. And
that motherfucker can make anyone look good.
Yeah, that dude will carry. He wrestled with a ladder for 20 minutes, or whatever. But no, I agree. Like throwing around super kicks with Ziggler, like he was at WrestleMania, it doesn't make sense.
It wasn't just him though; everybody was doing it.
Even on a match on this card, they've got a similar thing where Big Show uses a spear all the time. So we're supposed to believe that his like shoulder tackle / spear isn't going to take people out and finish a match. But if Roman Reigns does it, he's going to put him down for the 3 count.
We'll get to the clusterfuck that was the supposed last man standing with the 2 ton table of death.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus fucking... We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But, kicking out of finishers, and then he hits that red arrow thing, and... Okay, fair enough, it's an athletic move and he can hit it every time. Do you know what was a better top rope move than that? 450 splash.
Yeah.
And Justin Gabriel ain't there anymore.
Yeah.
What makes anyone think that Adrian Neville is still going to be here in 18 months' time? He's not. He's going to get wasted and he's going to get ignored.
I think the only thing that he's got in his favour is that he looks a little bit bigger than, say, like Sami Zayn or Justin Gabriel or even Punk. But whether he's got the mic skills to be the backup,
he hasn't.
I doubt it. Yeah,
he's from fucking Newcastle.
Yeah,
no, he hasn't.
No one's going to understand him for a start. So he wins with that. You cut to the awkward. Let's just mock Robert Downey Jr. interview.
But there was a good moment.
Yeah.
Right. It cuts to this hashtag Ask Kane Twitter thing with Tom Phillips. Right, and. We just started to chat because we weren't fucking interested in anything that was said, and I can't remember which one of us turned around to the other one and said, "I wonder if one of the questions is are you still relevant?" And we turned back, and literally as we turned back, there it is. Are you still relevant?
Yeah, that's
beautiful.
It's set up a theme for the rest of the show of how predictable.
Yeah,
literally everything.
Spots out.
Spots, all the match results. You could just see things coming. Everything was so like choreographed, and you could just see it coming a mile away. And that it's like if you were watching a TV show, like Breaking Bad, whatever you're watching at a minute. If you can sit there 10 minutes into the episode and go, this is going to happen, you'd stop watching. You'd just be like, well, this is so predictable. Why am I wasting my time?
And this is it. WWE trades on that sort of nostalgia feeling. That little tease every now and again when somebody will get busted open or somebody will go through a table. It's that little tease of we know why you're still watching, but we're not going to give you, anything close to the storyline quality of the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they can't have blood. It doesn't matter if they can't have fucking T and A, not TNA. T and A based matches, lingerie matches or whatever. It doesn't matter if they can't have that. But the quality of storyline writing back then, there was a few stupid fucking storylines, but the good far outweighed the bad.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't anymore.
Yeah.
And they play on that with their $9.99 a month, an advert midway through a fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah. It's shocking. So yeah, even at the top of the show, I'm just like, hey man, do you remember when wrestling used to be good, like the Attitude Era?
Yeah.
And then you start off with the Chicago Street Fight.
Oh yeah, the whole Seth Rollins mouthing off about I'm the greatest mind at human chess, and I just looked up and went, yeah, but this isn't chess, this is wrestling.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know.
Nah.
Problem I have with like people with gimmicks at the minute, like what is like Harper's gimmick? Is he just like, since the Wyatt split up, what does he just hang out with the swamp now?
Yeah, he's like the is it called Deliverance?
Yeah.
He's the guy from Deliverance that takes people into the woods and makes them squeal like piggies.
Yeah.
And he does this while he's doing it.
So he's got starry eyes and he looks a little bit dirty. I don't really get what. If his gimmick's like he just likes to beat people up, it's like, well, how many people are you going to have on the roster
that like to do that?
Yeah.
You know, Sheamus has just come back.
Yeah.
Fucking Rowan's got no reason to be kicking off at anybody.
Yeah, just I like to fight. Okay then.
What I will say about this match is Ambrose can take a fucking beating.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ! Now I love Dean Ambrose. I like this crazy thing. I don't know. I know like Barrett's the one dropping the cactus elbow off the ring apron, but I get a very Cactus Jack feel from the character of Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, it's that like chaos kind of.
You know, they need to bring back the hardcore division because he could set that shit on fire, literally.
Yeah, he would have nailed it because there was the kendo onslaught at the beginning. You had a pretty good spot with the suplex onto the chair, which I thought was pretty good.
And the notes here, we were talking about. Imagine if you got a kendo to the. There was a kendo strike, and it happened as I was looking up, and as I looked at it, I was like, "Did he just get that in the face?" And his only reaction was, "That would suck."
Yeah.
Completely straight face, no reaction, just that would suck, and it cracked me up.
I meant it. Yeah.
It would genuinely suck.
You caught a kendo stick to the teeth, like that would hurt.
Just that little spot underneath.
Yeah,
your nose.
There's no way you can protect against that.
It's
it makes you sort of
crystal.
Go.
Jesus Christ.
I thought they were going to do. They sort of half-heartedly did a homage to the Piper Goldust Chicago street fight when they, I thought they were going to film them out in the street, get a helicopter cam going on, them brawling in a back alley, but no, they scoot off. They kind of looked lost once they went backstage. They were just sort of like, let's fumble our way to this car.
Yeah, they didn't have any spots worked out for it, I don't think, and if they did, Harper put it out of whack.
Yeah, it was
because the guy's got no in-ring tempo anyway.
Yeah, and they just sort of stumbled away to the car, and then they were off. So everyone was just.
I bet it, like I said to you at the time, I bet it was because Harper can't go a long match because of him being such a big guy.
Yeah,
he can't do it. There was the fuck up right at the start of that match where he went to fucking.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, he went to pick him up and he just fucking couldn't do it.
Yeah, he threw him at a chair, I think, and he didn't even connect with the chair.
Yeah, it was.
It propped up in the corner.
Oh, it
just looked a bit sloppy.
Yeah, it was so shit.
Yeah. Then straight after that, they cut to the Addams family having an argument backstage.
I'm so sick of the authority.
It's just like the foreshadowing just couldn't be worse. That we'll get on the same page. So I wonder if. Oh, maybe they won't be on the same page later.
No,
so obviously not.
No.
So yeah.
Yeah. Now we're on to where do we go to?
God, no! This is the match where the post-match events were almost as long as the match itself.
Yeah.
Again, we had to
kiss me arse.
Yeah, we had to endure Americans saying arse, which is quite funny.
It's bad enough when British people try to do an Irish accent because like neither of us can do a good Irish accent.
You just say arse, and it's just like.
And it's like no, it's a kiss my ass match. Just call it that.
Yeah.
Stop stop being sort of subtly but supposedly unintentionally racist.
Yeah. Well, it's just sort of like it was almost as if they were trying to remind the audience that this Sheamus guy is Irish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's this is the most Irish match for the most Irish man in all of WWE history.
Yeah. I mean,
feel how Irish this big ginger mohawk night elf really is.
Yeah. So you get Sheamus the Warcraft character coming out.
Dolph, I kick everybody with finishers, Ziggler.
Yeah. I noticed that JoJo was doing announcing You don't really remember.
I don't
JoJo.
even know who fucking JoJo
But
is.
I'm pretty sure that she was on like a Divas match on pay-per-view, like Survivor Series, and so
Right.
she was on the roster at some point. But now she's like the third backup to Lillian on like ring announce
Like
duties.
Lillian wasn't even there.
Yeah,
was she?
I don't even recall. Like, so they've sort of
I love
semi-retiring Lillian.
I love Lillian Garcia. She's great, and I always look forward to the because every alternative WrestleMania she sings the American National Anthem, and I always look forward to it because it's like, even after all this time,
she's
still
doing
there.
a job. You had like the brony at the beginning of this. You could clearly just like he was going for the bro kick and he just hit a knee instead, and we'll just call that a really aggressive knee
wow,
to the
you
face.
just made a My Little Pony reference.
Brony.
It's a brony.
Yeah.
Sheamus and his My Little Brony.
He's
yeah. What else?
That's what he's with this hair. He's trying to grow it into a ponytail.
Yeah.
You had the like Ziggler just ragging Ziggler with a chin lock.
Just before that, though, there was that beautiful sit-down powerbomb.
Oh,
boom!
Yeah, he connected on that.
Yeah.
This match was all right, actually.
There was some good moments. But the thing with the match, again, like the problem that you raised at the beginning of this match was that the post-match shit was just as long.
Yeah.
Because you got like the roll up of doom that ends the match.
Yeah.
Right. The roll up of doom that ends the match, and then all this fucking bullshit. Oh, he's gonna do it. He's not gonna do it. He's gonna do it, and he's not gonna do it. And the moment that started happening, me and him looked to one another and we're like, he's gonna low blow him, then he's gonna hit him with the brogue kick.
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna happen.
There's no way that have him lose the match.
No,
so kill his in terms
the
of
most
matches.
Irish man lose the most Irish match in WWE history. Nah, he's gonna do the most Irish thing possible, and he's gonna fight fella.
Yeah. So it's like this little return push. They could kill that. So obviously being a heel, he's not going to do it. So Billy Gunn pulls down. Ziggler pulls down his thing.
He's so Billy Gunn, it hurts.
Yeah,
he's so Billy Gunn that Billy Gunn's like, hey, I only get 2 words to say in D-Generation X. You're not stealing all my gimmicks as well, man.
Yeah, gimmick infringement, Ziggler. So yeah, it's just really predictable again. Like you could, they were throwing it in the way that Ziggler sort of like widened his legs a little just to go like, Sheamus, I've given you enough room for the low blow here.
Yeah, it was so telegraphed. It was, and again, like Token says, it's a running theme for this pay-per-view. Everything was telegraphed. Everything was fucking obvious. Yeah. From the fucking low blow to the lol Cena wins to the fucking climax of the fucking main event. It was all by the numbers, predictable shit.
Yeah.
For Extreme Rules, there wasn't one extreme moment.
Yeah.
And no Extreme Rules match.
Yeah, it didn't really make. Yeah, this makes 0 sense. So it was 3 predictable spots out of 10 for that match.
Yeah, definitely.
See, I kind of I thought this match had some energy. It wasn't like brilliant.
Just before that, it then cuts to yet another fucking advert.
Yeah.
Comes back and the announce team reiterates, nearly word for word, what this fucking advert has said. They go along the line and each one of them talks about one of the things from this fucking advert. And it's like, yes, we all just saw this advert, right? You don't need to repeat it.
Yeah,
You're not Mr. Kennedy.
It makes me not want to watch any of the stuff they advertise because I've seen the adverts like 6 times now in like one show. But yeah, then we come out with the
New Day. Yeah, who I'm officially renaming the ST Day because them motherfuckers have got a chronic case of the clap.
Yeah. Worst gimmick ever.
Yeah, awful. All they need is watermelons.
Yeah. Just so they sort of officially transitioned into being heels at sort of the course of this match. I don't know why. I honestly don't really know why Kofi's still. I'm surprised he's not been released.
Yeah, because they've had nothing to do with him since like 2008.
Yeah, I mean he kind of had that run where like every sort of couple of months he had some sort of title around his waist. He had that mini feud with Randy, and then he's just gone down.
and then he was relegated to I have a slightly interesting spot at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So every year I'll do like I'll run up a ladder really quick at at Money in the Bank. It's like okay.
How is he going to avoid being eliminated from the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, so I'll jump on this and
I'll jump on this and I'll walk on my hands to that and after the first like sort of 2-3 years that he did it, it was like, okay, this is going to be his thing every year, and now I don't care.
Yeah, he's one of them, like, if he sticks around any longer, he'll start getting X-Pac heat just for being there, and I'll just be like, I just don't.
Do you know who he reminds me of? Evan Bourne.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he was released for smoking weed, but they had fuck all to do with him.
Yeah.
And it's just a waste. He's going to end up in TNA.
Yeah. But so I mean, there was quite a lot of energy in this match. There was the predictable sort of spots, but I mean, they didn't. It kept going. Like there was a momentum. They managed to build the tension with kickouts without doing it with finishes.
Yeah, I mean, I know we spoke quite a bit about the ST Day, and like Big E boring, and why is Xavier Woods and Kofi? Are you still here, Kingston?
Yeah.
But we've not said anything about Cesaro, Kid, and why is Natalya following him everywhere?
Yeah.
Is it because they need a third person out there because they're going against the New Day?
Whereas, it's because it's like, I'm married to Kid. So
I'm married to Kid. It just reinforces that whole Natty's husband chant.
Yeah. So she comes out looking like she should be on the set of
Mad Max. Yeah, Mad Max. That was it. And Cesaro's like pound for pound, he's the strongest guy. Yeah. He can do some really, really impressive shit. But he's got the fucking personality of a fart. Yeah. Right? He's the modern day fucking Lance Storm. Yeah. He's great technically,
but no personality.
Can I be serious for just a minute?
Yeah. And I sort of made the comment when we were watching, like, that guy needs to be a Heyman guy, and then as soon as I said it, I was like, actually,
he was
a Heyman guy, and
but he wasted it.
Work.
Yeah, so it's the guy's got no fucking personality.
Yeah.
The fucking awful backbreaker that he did after the catch. Yeah. Like he spun him, but he didn't make it far enough. It was piss poor.
Yeah, there was a couple of.
What was with Kofi Kingston's pigtails?
Yeah, I kind of looked up and was like, hey. Is Kofi Kingston rocking a layer? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fashion advice, Kofi. Just sort that
out. The Big E spear to the to Kid on the outside was a bit gnarly because it looked like Kid took that real fucking hard.
Yeah. There's another issue that we kind of raised during the course of the pay-per-view is apparently the rumour that the curb stomp's been banned.
Mm. But it's not a rumour. They outright said it's been banned.
And they're still teasing the punt. And you had Xavier Woods take a kick straight to the face
from Kid. He got slapped by Natalya, and then he got kicked right in the chin.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know, like, if it's concussion control, like you ban everything, like a clothesline and you hit him hard enough. Like I just find it weird that one move is all right and another's
The thing that really pissed me off about this match was the ending. It sort of became a bit of a clusterfuck for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And then there was that really fucking gnarly. It was like a push-up, like a kip-up style, curb stomp style, chest stomp thing from Kid to Kofi. And he just fucking stamped on his sternum, and it looked so good. And then there was this little bit of a clusterfuck. And then Kofi rolls him up and grabs the tights in the cheap heel turn.
Yeah.
And that's, again, it's the cheap pop, the cheap heat.
Yeah.
It's a cheap way to do it.
It's like a cheap pay-per-view.
Yeah, it really, really was. And then we got the whole cut to the back, and Jeep turns back up with a screeching halt, and Harper gets launched out of it, and Ambrose and Harper are back. And, like Ambrose dives off the top of the fucking car and lands on the New Day, who are out back celebrating being, shit.
Yeah. Their collective might skills just don't hold a candle to Ziggler, even. Like, that's how bad they are.
There's fucking Harper comes staggering back out to ringside, and literally out of nowhere, like the RKO out of nowhere meme, fucking Ambrose just... Yeah. I love it. I love the way that he just appears from out of nowhere off screen, and he's in midair, and he doesn't give a fuck, and he just takes people down.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
He's not even like performing a move. He's just, I'm going to jump on you and start hitting you.
Yeah, that's it. That's Harper. That's Harper fucked.
Yeah.
And then there was the whole. The two of them are on either side of the ring, and they're launching chairs into the ring. And the poor ref is like this in the middle.
Yeah, he's just like, guys.
And I swear to God, the poor guy, his life must have flashed before his eyes, because there were so many fucking chairs in the ring, and you know, it wasn't a great finish, really.
No,
was it?
yeah, it was kind of like, again, really predictable. We called it like someone's going to get power. I said someone's going to get power bombed on one of them. Happened straight away, and then he kicks out of that. I was like, well. He's just kicked out of the Harper powerbomb, so dirty deeds for sure.
Yeah. Sorry,
yeah.
Notes need turning.
So again, really predictable finish. It was kind of lackluster after the hype of them sort of leaving the arena. And
the thing again, something else that happened just before that, like the really shitty finish, was he buried him in chairs. Yeah. Now it never looks good. It never makes any sense.
Yeah.
And it just looks shit. Although I will say it was certainly the longest match of the night if we're talking in minutes.
Yeah.
It had a couple of good moments.
They utilised it well to break up the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
All, you know.
Yeah.
Especially with the absence of like Daniel Bryan, I think it was almost like getting a double dose of Ambrose.
Yeah. Yeah.
To sort of negate that.
Yeah.
What's up?
I'm just looking at the notes. So
what was
the next match is John Cena versus the Bulgarian Russian brute Rusev in a Russian chain US title match.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a couple of like we sat here just bouncing some jokes off each other, and there was a couple of good ones. Bulgarian bondage match was what it should have been called, and Rusev is now officially, I can't believe it's not Kozlov. Because when that came out of my mouth, this was the look on his face. Yeah.
You can't believe you went there.
Yeah, I can't believe it's not Kozlov.
Yeah.
It is basically a glorified fucking strap match, right? But the two big differences between this and a strap match, or a four corners match, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is it was with a chain of supposedly unbreakable Russian steel, when the Russians are known for having cars that are made of fucking aluminium foil.
Yeah.
And the lights. Yeah. My fucking God, the lights on the turnbuckle. Now remember, I'm talking about these lights because they are going to be critical in the what the fuck finish of this match, right? First of all, these matches are always shit. Always shit.
It's like between every move they've got to decide, make sure the chain's out of the way and they get the chain in the right position.
Yeah.
So the flow from the match just goes completely.
They're still pushing this America versus Russia bullshit right up to the point where they've got little flags on the wrist
for
shackle whatever things. It was a predictable match.
Slow and clunky, wasn't it?
Slow, clunky. Cena gets hung over the top rope by one hand, and I'm sorry, I remember the I Quit match with Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I've seen Cena take like 15 chest shots with a fucking kendo stick, right? That motherfucker is one tough son of a bitch, and Rusev stretching his arm up and then kicking him in the ribs. It ain't gonna cut it, mate. It really ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah. It builds up for their build up in the next pay-per-view. It's just like Cena's motto is never give up. He's not going to lose an I Quit match. No. I mean, if they do that and give Rusev some props of being like, I made Cena quit, it's the only way to rescue Rusev out of this feud, really.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's what happens when you put a new guy in the ring with John.
Yeah.
Because if he's not got like main event level stuff under his belt, like say Edge, or Taker, or Kane, you know, people like or Randy, you know, if he's not got a history like that, if he's a relatively new guy that's been storming through everybody else, when you put him in the ring with John Cena, it's always going to be lol, Cena wins.
Yeah, just going to get buried,
and that takes away everything the guy's done.
Yeah.
It shoots it in the arse. Yeah. It's horrible.
Well, I have the issue with the whole finishers thing. If you want the exception that proves the rule, is Super Cena can, in any other match, it's going to take like a couple of finishes to knock somebody out.
In this match,
we'll get to the case in point coming to the last man standing, but Cena is so phenomenally super for for what was an undefeated guy both at WrestleMania and this pay-per-view. It just takes one.
No, it takes two at this pay-per-view. He takes two AAs in this pay-per-view.
But it's just like, that's all it takes. He didn't just run down. He's finished. It's like, come on, like.
What pissed me off about this match initially was, it was the predictable chain work. Like every spot was, oh yeah, this is what they're going to do with it now.
Yeah.
That makes sense, and it was all very logical but very predictable. I don't mind if it makes sense as long as I can't predict it. Then there was the shitty chain work, and then there was the fact there was chain work in the first place.
Yeah.
It was just a shit. It was a shitty gimmick, and with those fucking lights, right? Red for Rusev. Yeah. Could you be more racist? Green for Cena, right? Red light, green light with Rusev and Cena. That is not something I ever want to see, right? That coupled with the obvious stage direction from the fucking referee every time. This is gonna be the sticking point of this match, because this fucking really made me angry, didn't it?
Yeah, you were getting wound up with this.
Right. As during this match, if we follow the example that is set in this match of the rules, this is the rules. They've got to hit the turnbuckles to put the lights on, four corners, right, and they've got to do it in a consecutive order. If something happens, if a move happens in between that, they reset the lights. Yeah, that's what happened all the way through the match, and we get. Oh yeah, but sorry. Before that, no. In fact, no. It's an afterthought anyway. She's a fucking manager. Yeah, we get to this weird, awkward finish where John's been put in the accolade, and he's got Rusev on his back, and he's been hitting the turnbuckles, and the lights are going on. So they're tied for the lights. And John pulls Rusev towards him, hits him with an AA. Right there. Hits him with an AA. Rusev's lights go out, both literally and figuratively. And Cena hits the last turnbuckle, and lol, Cena wins. Yeah. Ignoring the rules they set for themselves by example in their match.
Yeah. Again, it's just like logic goes out the window in the E. It just doesn't make, there's just no consistency.
I know it sounds like I didn't want Cena to win. I want Cena to win. Because if he's got the US title, he can legitimize it.
Yeah.
Because, there aren't very many people on the roster that they're going to, A, allow, or B, could actually beat Cena straight up.
Yeah.
Right? So they're keeping the lol Cena wins in its place, out of the main picture so they can do new stuff, but in a place where he's still going to be doing something of worth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Siderate wants to stand all over me notes, because he's a dick. Right, that match was the fuck out of 10.
Yeah.
Because of the ending. It just it ignored the rules that they set themselves during the match, and it just...
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that match at all.
No. It was very, very, very poorly executed, clunky match.
Yeah.
Then we get to the Divas title piss break.
Yeah.
One of the Bellas versus Naomi. I can't believe it's not what was her fucking name? Jazz.
Yeah.
Anyone watching remember Jazz?
It's it was just like the standard.
We knew this match was going to be bad from the moment Naomi came out, and she had fucking Dayglow Kanye West specs on. Yeah. Fucking nightlight trainers. Yeah. And she looked like Seth's Power Ranger buddy. Yeah. From the hood.
Yeah, gyrating around. I, again, just making a comment, I ended up predicting something. I was like, oh, how come the Bellas aren't wearing like the same outfit because they can't do twin magic anymore? They just decided to turn that into, we're just going to have outside interference and then have King refer to that as twin magic.
Yeah, I was like...
No, it's not twin magic, it's not outside interference.
It's outside interference magic.
Yeah.
It's oim.
But yeah, you made a point of they're going to keep the title on...
Yeah,
on Bella, interchangeable Bella 1 because... just to screw over AJ Lee.
Yeah, because AJ... It was only going to be a matter of time before AJ left the company. We all knew that.
Yeah.
Because of the shit that went down with Punk. And there's no way, after the shit went down with Punk and the way she left, there is no way that either of them are A, ever going to be in the fucking Hall of Fame. B, I guarantee you somebody else gets a longer title reign.
Yeah.
At the main title than Punk did.
Yeah.
Right? They are, at the moment they can erase Punk and AJ from the longest title ever picture.
They're sort of legacies there.
They will.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of company that WWE are, and it's, I don't fault them for it. At the end of the day, if an employee fucks you over and you want to be a dick, then you want to be a dick. But, whichever way you call it, it's still being a fucking dick.
Yeah.
And WWE are famous for it.
Yeah. I mean, this match gave me no sort of... There was no hint that they were going to do anything with the Divas sort of division or, make any importance on the title. So, when they haven't even explained why the Bellas are, like, back together from, October? No, whenever it was. So,
You're going to be my slave for a month. Now I'm your sister again.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Again, it's just like... They've not given you anything to invest.
No.
So.
The only two things I can think of note from this match is that that Nikki's knee of death to the face. That
right.
sort of it's not even a knee lift, it's a knee stop.
Yeah, she just sort of grabs her hair. Should be a finisher.
Yeah, I was about to say that's what you said to me, and fuck me, it looks like that hurts. And then there was that springboard kick right to Naomi's chin.
Alright,
BAM!
Yeah.
Sit down. Brie interferes.
I think
the rack attack, I fucking hate that.
Yeah, I kind of expressed like they're trying. They haven't really got any great talent on the Divas side, and it's just like, yeah, they're trying. Naomi's probably the most athletic on there. You just sort of like, you want to get into it. You want to be able to appreciate it and say, yeah, this is as good as one of the other matches. But no, it's no.
Yeah, now we've got the last twat standing match.
Oh god,
I fucking hated this match. It was shit.
Yeah, I mean, I called it the build-up. The Big Show's saying he's going to prove that Reigns is like an epic failure, and I was just like, yeah, well, this is exactly what this match will be.
And it was just start to finish. It
massive,
was a clusterfuck.
Yeah, massive spot fest. But I mean, they kind of did a good job of like not ending it too early and having Show get up from stuff that you were expecting, to put him down, and Reigns to get up. Building on that sort of WrestleMania thing of like Brock just tans Reigns for like 20 minutes and he starts laughing.
Yeah. They reference that it's supposedly because when he was growing up, his dad's one of the Wild Samoans, right? And his dad used to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Right, and it was one of them, go and fight them. If you come back having not won, I'm gonna lock you outside and all this shit. It all toughened him up. It was like the mean streets of Hawaii or some shit.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, Reigns did connect with a pretty good his apron drop kick. That was pretty sweet.
Right in the face. It was beautiful.
You commented that the Show should have really smashed that table first time.
Yeah.
When he Hulk smashes it.
Hulk Show smash.
Yeah, and he's like, oh.
And you see the look on his face. Oh shit!
It's like, I've got to do that again.
That's going on Botchamania.
Yeah. Obviously the table's set up, and they could have taken that quite a few ways with the two tables outside.
But you called that. You were like, Reigns is going through that via a chokeslam to the outside.
It was like one of sort of three things. It was like, okay.
That fucking the fact that the knockout punch doesn't knock people out.
Yeah, it's linked to this whole finisher problem that like with their logic. It's like it's called a KO punch, so you knock somebody out with it. It should knock them out for more than 10 seconds.
What pissed me off about it was at like 4.5 seconds he started moving, and I immediately sat back going, bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit, because I say it time and time again, and I'm not the only one who says it, right? When somebody kicks out of your finisher, it doesn't make them look strong, it makes your finisher look shit. And when you've got a fist the size of fucking Big Show, and somebody kicks out of your knockout punch, you didn't punch him.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. It's just stupidity. Before, when the bell rang and they were coming out, I was like, well, this match is a one-move match, because Big Show at any time has just got to hit the KO punch
and
he's
it's over.
won.
Yeah.
But again, no, that didn't happen. He misses the big Vader splash. Apparently, he didn't even connect.
Right, there was about fucking that much room between him, because he landed on his knees, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. Although it probably would have killed Roman Reigns even with his D'Lo Brown-esque chest protector on.
Yeah.
It probably would have killed him if he'd landed on him.
Yeah.
But still, just make it look a little bit closer.
I didn't really like the spot where Reigns was standing up in front of that propped up table, and Show was like, right, I'm gonna charge into him, and he literally ran and then
splashed it
just
like this.
Jumped. So my thought was, well, if Reigns wasn't gonna move, what was Big Show's plan? He was just gonna like jump on him. There was no move that he did, like he didn't miss a move. He just sort of, it was very choreographed. As like, Reigns, you move, I'll jump and just land on the table.
Yeah.
It just looked really lame. Really lame.
Shit then went to the outside, and Reigns hits like the big spear and puts Show through like the barricade.
Yeah, by the ring announcers. Yeah.
Show gets up, and they got up on the desk, and the desk is doing this, and he's going, it's going to fall. Yeah, it's going to fall. I thought it was going to fall, and then we get this really by the numbers. It looked like you know how the in the WWE wrestling computer games, when you set up that finisher, it does the same animation no matter who it is that's there.
Yeah.
It looked like a physical representation of that.
Yeah.
Right. So he goes through the Spanish announce desk, and Reigns makes this big to-do about lifting this supposed 2-ton desk of doom. This is the same 2-ton desk of doom that Brock Lesnar flipped over and managed to temporarily kill JBL and Booker a few weeks ago, right? And he dumps it onto Show, and Show apparently, right, it's not even all the way onto Show. It's not. And apparently Show can't get up. And then Reigns stands on top of him, a la fucking Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I called it. It was a spot they used like probably about 10 years ago at like Armageddon. It was a last man standing match. Kane Jericho. He topples a wall made of like oil barrels on top of Kane, and then stands on that, and he's just like, "Yep,
yeah,
you're down. You technically can't get up."
And really, and that was it. It was a 2-ton table of death out of 10.
Yeah.
We then got to an advert for a WWE movies, or whatever the fuck they call their studio.
Yeah, the WWE studios, right.
Fucking movie, the Marine 4, and his first reaction was, "There's 4 of these fucking films."
Yeah,
like the John Cena one was bad. And then they did sequels. I know Randy Orton was in one of the sequels.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's more unbelievable about this film. The Miz as a Marine, or Summer Rae with a machine gun.
Yeah.
That's the selling points of this film.
That's a double dose of failure right there.
I mean, fuck me.
I genuinely don't know who watches them.
I've watched a few of them. They did a Leprechaun reboot, and they touted it as having fucking Hornswoggle in it as the Leprechaun. Now, the Leprechaun I know and love and remember was, what's his name? Him that was the Ewok in Star Wars.
Warwick Davies.
Warwick Davies. He plays him, and he's like a little stereotypically racistly Irish fucking gremlin-looking creature. But he's like that, but with Freddy Krueger's fucking personality and sense of humour, so he's wisecracking all the time when he's killing people. No, in this film, the Leprechaun doesn't say a word. He's just this thing. Yeah. And most of the time, the editing is so fast that you only see little bits of him. Fast editing, we'll get to that in the Age of Ultron review, coming out very, very soon. Shameless self-promotion. Hey, they fucking do it. They fucking do it in the middle of their fucking pay-per-view. They turn around and go, "Watch this by us, so we can fucking do it too."
We don't charge no.
No. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna give you $9.99, but I'm certainly gonna say I'll fucking save you $9.99 a month. The shiny golden god that is Bo Dallas.
I mean, I am starting to believe.
Bo leave.
So at this point, when he's coming down with a mic, we get Cheap Pops 28 and 29.
And number 30.
And 30.
Yeah, we got 3 consecutive cheap pops in a row.
Yeah, because you get Cheap Pops just for saying Chicago, and then basically he kind of comes out and says his cheap heat is that he basically comes in as the audience smells because they don't shower. It's just like, I don't know, it's just the like Heat 101, like first page of how to get heat. It's
insult the hometown.
Yeah, insult the hometown. Call the audience ugly.
Say their sports team sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Do you know,
I'm better than you.
Those are the first 3. It's like, yeah.
Right, and then we hear, you know, the music of. Right, we've got new contenders for our nicknames for Ryback. We've got Rybotch, Roydbotch, Royd Rage, Roydberg. We've got many names for the man known as Roydman.
Yeah.
He comes out in wrestling gear.
Yeah.
Bo Dallas is also in wrestling gear. Why are they in wrestling gear? Do they just wander about all day, every day in that shit?
It's not a match. It's like just again logic. They did it ages ago. That I think it was during his feud with the Nexus. And do you remember when Cena got fired? And then he was at ringside in ring gear. And it's like, why isn't he in street clothes? Like, it's so easy for him. Oh.
Do you know, I've worked it out. That's why Kane is still doing the corporate thing. Because he's trying to be the opposite psychology. He's never in ring gear, so you never think he's going to get in the ring.
Yeah. He's... it just really just doesn't make any sense. Like, logically, you'd just be like, if it was a genuine, say, sports event, it's just like, it'd be like having a UFC fight and then somebody wandering around in their like UFC shorts and whatnot and being like taped up and then be like, but you haven't got a fight on the card. He's like, yeah, I just come to hang out. Yeah, I just come to hang out.
I like the look.
Yeah,
I call it punch up chic.
Yeah, it's,
you know, Roy Botch hits the shell shock and, you know, drops Bo Dallas and walks away, and it was a waste of 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I think one of the matches was like 30 seconds too fast.
Yeah,
and they were like, you two, get out there and do something.
Yeah.
That was it.
Pretty pointless.
Fucking and then we get to the main event, the RKO band cage match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, presenting the challenger, Randy, the same guy for the last 10 years, Orton, versus the champion, Seth Greasy Weasel Ranger Rollins. Ha! Fucking first time. Fuck you.
Yeah, Kane apparently is still relevant.
Yeah, he's relevant as the gatekeeper. Now, anyone who's ever heard of Atmosphere, insert your Atmosphere joke here, because I can't do it justice. Anyway, this one dropped the most amazing observation.
Right, so Randy's voice's music hits. He's been using that for quite a while. And I'm just thinking, hey Randy, you know these voices that speak to you? Have they ever, like, I don't know, suggested a new gimmick? Like, just any slight alteration to your personality other than that. You're just sort of crazy and you just beat up people and you just don't...
And you're violent and you've got anger management issues.
Yeah, and you like to punt people. It's like, come on, just a little tweak. Anything. Sheamus got a new haircut.
Yeah, exactly. You get a new haircut.
Apparently that means a new gimmick.
Yeah, grow your hair out long, Randy. That, you know. The match, this match, again, felt very, very paced, very poorly paced, very clunky, very, we're going to do this, and then, we're going to do that, and, we've got to bounce somebody into this, and he's got to run up here. The fucking announce team talking about Eddie Guerrero, how he had a match with JBL. Don't talk about Eddie when this shit is on my TV.
Yeah, it was
Jesus fucking Christ, have some respect.
It was trying to get some like credibility for sort of name dropping, something that had, like a cage match that was much better. This was just like a paint by numbers cage match. It was very, I thought it was really boring.
Yeah, generic.
Yeah, really generic.
Top rope headbutts.
Yeah, they were just, you know, playing off the fact that, what is Kane gonna do? That was the only focus of the match. It was
what's Kane gonna do? And when you focus, when the focus of the title match is the fucking guy stood outside who isn't relevant, by the way.
Yeah, that sums up where they're going with their title picture after Brock. You know, life after Brock is what's this guy doing outside who we've had on the roster for like 20 years? What's he gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. It's not about the champion, who is, by the way, a fucking greasy weasel.
Yeah.
There was a point at which, like, the thing with Randy Orton, because he's been the same guy for the last 10 years, everybody who knows Randy well enough and knows his work well enough knows when he's pissed at himself. There was a bit of a sloppy power slam, and as he moved away, you could fuck.
Yeah.
He just looked pissed at himself. You know, fucking. That's at the point that Rollins sort of fucking jumps up, super kick right to the face. 1, 2, kick out.
Yeah.
Again. Shawn Michaels, if he was dead, would be rolling in his fucking grave.
Yeah.
Right now, every time somebody kicks out of the sweet chin music, which is what it is, right? Every time somebody kicks out, he gets that little bit grayer.
Yeah, yeah.
And his back gets that little bit worse. They're slowly killing the man.
Yeah.
The man's the living legend, Shawn fucking Michaels. They're disrespecting his memory on a weekly basis, because they don't this isn't just like a pay-per-view thing. This is something that happens. It happens on Raw. It happens on SmackDown. It happens on fucking Superstars. You know what I mean? Yeah. And nobody watches Superstars.
Yeah. It's just a case.
I'm surprised it doesn't happen on Divas.
Yeah, just throwing around super kicks and DDTs like a candy.
And then we get the Hobbits.
The Hobbits come out. You know, it's like usual, just like stipulations of like, right. So you wanted the cage to keep the Authority out. Why not just have your stipulation be the Authority are banned from ringside?
Yeah.
Yeah, they come out. Randy deals with them. He throws a sort of lazy-looking T-bone, but did it awesome. He just basically picked Rollins up and just threw him over his shoulder.
Yeah, just launched him clean across the ring. Beautiful.
Then we get the first thing about, say 15 minutes into this match, 10-15 minutes, the first thing of any interest, where Randy looks like he's going to go for the RKO. You're like, what are you doing?
Busts out pedigree, mate. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
But again, the problem of kicking out the finishers. I don't care if it's somebody else's finisher. It's still a fucking finisher.
Yeah.
You know, the fucking bullshit where Rollins is going for Randy after Kane's refusing to open the door for him, and Kane eats the fucking door.
Yeah. So
because of Rollins, and then.
So the whole main event builds up to this whole 2 minutes at the end.
Which involves the man who isn't relevant.
Yeah, yeah. So
Kane.
We get the drop kick, so Kane's pissed. He comes in, choke slams for everyone, which was pretty predictable. And then we predicted the arm drag over.
Yeah.
We thought that would be it, to
be
fair.
Fucking Orton kicks out.
Yeah.
So, Kane goes back to finish the job. Orton jumps up and fucking RKO's the shit out of him. Turns round. And this is, again, they've done this on about 4 pay-per-views, Mania included, in a fucking row. This bullshit finish that just ruins anything good that's come from the pay-per-view. Just everything just goes out the window. Randy turns round and Rollins hits him with the RKO. Bear in mind, it wasn't a RKO is banned for Randy Orton match. It was an RKO is banned match, right? The RKO was banned. Now, I don't know whether, like Spoonie was saying on Twitter, that would count as a title change because it was banned. It was a banned move. Yeah. It would count as a title change. At the very fucking least, it would count as a disqualification and no title change. Rollins retains from being a slimy weasel. Perfect. But no. Rollins hits him and then gets 1, 2, 3. What the fuck?
Yeah.
If you get, it's like twice on the same pay-per-view. They can't stick to their own fucking rules in their own fucking match.
Yeah, and you can tell the build-up with the commentary team didn't know what was going on, so that's going to be their playthrough for the next 2 Raws.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, well, it wasn't explicitly stated. I kind of sort of cheated you out of it. Are we going to have another match? And I don't know. It's have a clean end to a pay-per-view, or
even have him disqualified.
Yeah, it makes sense. He's cheated. he's used the RKO, but if you can't, the title doesn't change on a DQ.
That's
then
fine.
Fair enough. Like, you could accept that and be like,
yeah,
that makes sense
that's
for the character.
Heel finish.
It makes sense for the character, yeah.
Yeah.
But just for it to just have this like murky, it reeks of sort of like WCW.
Yeah,
booking.
yeah,
With,
it
does. One springs to mind. I think it was Uncensored. It was like Ric Flair Hogan in the like First Blood cage match, and then they had this thing where like I think Hogan gets busted open, and the match doesn't stop, and then the like Mike Tenay's sort of like, it's referee's discretion as to whether he wants to.
Fuck off.
And I think they both end up being busted open, and then it goes like a pinfall. It's just like,
oh wow,
a clusterfuck of rules that nobody knows what's going on.
It was an accidental busting open of Hulk Hogan.
Really,
Flair was meant to lose, kind of thing.
It was just really messy.
I miss Flair. Flair makes everything more interesting.
Woo! But yeah, so it ended with just everyone just sort of going.
And that was it. That was the end of so-called Extreme Rules that lacked anything extreme whatsoever. There wasn't one real standout fucking hell moment.
The most extreme thing was a couple of tables being broken in the Reigns show match, and some chairs being thrown around by Ambrose. That's about it really.
There wasn't anything that was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, Paul Heyman somewhere was backstage going, God, this is what counts as extreme now?
Yeah, he's like, fucking Paul Levesque, because I'm not calling him Triple H.
Yeah.
Paul Levesque is like, fuck you, Paul. Fuck you.
Yeah, he's just sort of...
Fuck you and your ECWs.
Goading Heyman in the back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I haven't really thought about it. Like, what was the best match?
Oh, God.
It's hard.
Well, it wasn't the main event.
No.
Apart from the fact that Harper's a little bit too tall for Ambrose, the Ambrose Harper match wasn't bad.
Yeah, in terms of entertainment, I mean...
not the New Day. Yeah. Ambrose.
All these matches, were very clunky. So I mean, I kind of think
Ambrose Harper.
I think Ambrose Harper, and then probably I thought the tag team match was a solid tag team match.
But the ST New Day. ST Day.
But in terms of the match quality, because all the rest of them were very sort of slow, very clunky, like
very predictable.
Yeah. Had Ziggler, Sheamus gone a little bit longer, maybe, but.
Yeah, but even
it was ruined by the segment at the end.
Yeah, because the segment was as long as the match.
Yeah.
So overall, that was probably Rosa Mendez's career out of 10.
Yeah.
For that pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was a filler pay-per-view. It was almost like a...
It was about as likely as Alex Riley and fucking Zack Ryder becoming dual holders of the fucking... WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that.
It was
separate the belts, you cunts.
Yeah. It was just a setup for. It was like a setup pay per view. It's like, hey guys, don't forget we're back next month with Payback.
Yeah.
Come back and subscribe.
And the whole setup, the whole video package for Payback is something to do with Reigns.
Yeah.
It's Reigns going after Rollins because Rollins ripped him off. So, we're going to go now because we've been up all fucking night. Sorry if we've rambled a bit and not made much sense, but we're here anyway. He has been TokenDweeb.
He's been ForceOfWill.
This has been WWFree special event, Not So Extreme Rules. We are at Team Lion Court on Twitter. We are twitch.tv/Team Lion Court on the old Twitch. Drop us a like, drop us a subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.